The rain is cleared and we're just about ready to go. Another quarterfinal to get our semis set. 7-seed Arkansas looks for another win as number 2 seed Texas makes its Hoover debut this season. The 2026 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank. Couple raindrops still hanging out, but Arkansas maximized its time in the hotel today before they showed up. They've won 9 of their last 14 against conference foes. And on the other side, Texas had another fantastic season, second consecutive season of 40 regular season wins. So here's where we stand. One semi is set, Georgia and Florida on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern. And the winner of this one will draw the winner of our nightcap, A&M and Auburn, to set the second semifinal. With that, welcome to Hoover, everybody. Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson, Chris Budden down on the field. This should be a fun one tonight for a couple of teams that come in with a lot of talent, not the least of which is Texas, which won the regular season last year. Now they're looking to make more noise.
Yeah, you look at the combination of the two. I think it's two teams that have a real chance to play in Omaha. Texas knows they're going to host. Arkansas isn't quite sure yet. And that's kind of the what to play for here for Texas. It's one of the best 1-2 punches in the country. I don't think you could say anybody is better. Aiden Robinson transfer has been phenomenal at the top. He's the SEC Newcomer of the Year. Carson Tinney's a finalist for the Johnny Bench Award, both of them with an OPS above 1100. A reason why Texas offensively really leans on the top half of this lineup, because a lot of it starts with those two right there.
There's 39 home runs combined in the 1-2 spot for this Texas batting order. On the other side for Arkansas, they're without some firepower. We'll get to that in a moment. But you mentioned plenty to play for Dave Van Horn. He wants the Hogs to be at home in the postseason.
They like playing at Baum Walker. And they're not assured of it right now. And in fact, a lot depends on today and then potentially as the series goes on. They got a shot, though. And if you looked at it 4 weeks ago, I don't think that people would have looked at it that way. You got to do a little bit of scoreboard watching, but above all, they got to win, I would say, 1, potentially 2 more games here. And a win over Texas, given the RPI boost and everything else, would help a lot.
And with a middle-of-the-pack offense, they are missing a big bat. For more on that, let's go down to the field as we say good evening to Chris Budden.
Hi, Tom. Arkansas is going to be without Kuhio Aloy after he broke his hamate bone on Wednesday. He is back in Fayetteville. He's expected to have surgery early next week. Dave Van Horn said he believes he broke it on his first at-bat in that game against Tennessee and then went and got it looked at after his second at-bat. They are missing a lot of production with him not in the lineup. 9 home runs, 41 RBIs. Carter Rutenberg is the guy that they will replace him with. I talked to Dave Van Horn about him. He said there were times where he's been great and provided a lot of firepower, but has sometimes hit that freshman wall, but expecting him to be able to step up this week without Aloy.
All right, Chris, thanks. They are 3 runs shy per game with and without Kuhio Aloy in the batting order. 12th in the league in batting average, 7th in the league in home runs with 92. Here's a batting order they put together. Zach Stewart had a couple of home runs, 2 of the 4 for the team, and the 8-4 win in their tournament opener against Tennessee. And so they look for some length out of the lineup. Chris mentioned Rutenberg. He's DHing down in the 8-hole. And interesting scenario for Jim Schlossnagle and the Texas pitching staff. They'll go with Cody Howard in this one. We'll see their Friday and Saturday starters expected later in the game. But for now, it's Howard who makes his first start of the season.
Yeah, it's just his 6th appearance for Howard. The longest he's gone in any outing was 3 2/3. That was his last time out. He hasn't gone more than 44 pitches. Fastball can get up there. I mean, it's a mid-90s fastball. I think the one thing to pay attention to today for Texas is how much they really are trying to set themselves up for the postseason. Jim Schlossnagle wants to see if Cody Howard can potentially fit that 4-starter role if in fact they need it down the road.
So Damian Ruiz starts things off and he takes a fastball right down central at 95. Ruiz has a 21 game on base streak for the Razorbacks. Junior from Livingston, Texas, and Livingston High School, hitting .317. About 90 minutes late due to Mother Nature, and both teams approach it differently. Arkansas was actually on its way to the ballpark when they got the word that the game would be pushed back so far. So they hung a U-turn. They went back to downtown Birmingham. They didn't get here until about an hour and a half later than Texas was here. And the Longhorns spent their time off their feet back in the home clubhouse. Ruiz was 1 for 4 against Tennessee, and that fastball just missed. Remember, ABS is in play. We'll see how Texas handles the challenges with Carson Tinney, their starting catcher and one of the best in the country. Fouled back by Ruiz, 96. So the juice is there, and you mentioned Texas trying to figure out who's healthy in the rotation. How do we get set up for next week? And could Howard fill that role for a starter if needed in regional play?
Yeah, and I think they want to make sure they get some guys out there on the mound today, because obviously Texas gets beat to go home. So with Howard, he loses a slider right there. Ruiz will reach to start the game. With Howard, you know, he's probably not going to go more than 3 innings. Then you would think they piece it together after that.
Jim Schlossnagle used Howard out of the bullpen in the series finale against Missouri, threw 44 pitches in 3 2/3. And now Camden Kojal will come to the plate. 10th among active Division I coaches, 1,030 wins now in his second season in Texas. Kojal homered against Tennessee yesterday, and the pitch is in for a strike. He's 5th in the league in RBI with 64. And now 0-2. Fastball's been there for Cody Howard here early on. Texas going to put the shift on, and they'll flip Casey Borba to the right side. Longhorns dealing with some injuries as well, especially on the infield. So Borba, who's played first and third, starts at third. Temo Becerra is getting the start at second base these days.
Arkansas offensively yesterday, those 4 home runs, each home run over 420 feet. Kojal got the party started. Stewart hit 2. Pompey hit 1 in the parking lot. This ballpark has played more offensive than we're used to seeing it play on a yearly basis. Already more home runs this year than the entire tournament last year.
7 extra base hits in the first 2 innings. Last 2 games, deep to left field, packed to the track, at the wall. It is gone, and the first inning heat continues for Arkansas. 2-run oppo shot for Camden Kojal. What a way to start for Arkansas. Some early juice. 19th of the season for Kojal. So that's how you replace Kuhio Aloy.
That helps. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. The home run yesterday went off the scoreboard. Today he hits it oppo into the bullpen. Kojal's had 2 great years in Fayetteville.
Here's Ryder Helfrich trying to butt his way aboard to start things off. 0-1 to the Arkansas catchers. Reached base 21 consecutive games. Junior from Discovery Bay, California. And he pops it out of play. First meeting of the season between the two. Kojal sharing the scouting report. Nolan Souza accompanying the Arkansas dugout. Got him swinging at 96. How about Camden Kojal going opposite field?
Yeah, he could do that. Slider that was out of the way. Kojal just stays right on it, drives it the other way. He knows the way this ballpark plays. Also knows that he got enough of it. Backspin, I think, off the bat. Anthony Peck Jr. thought he had a chance in it, but 10-15 feet beyond the wall to give the Hawks an early 2-0 lead.
So a lot of left fielders think they've had shots so far in this tournament, but run out of space in one of the biggest ballparks in college baseball. And that was the case when Zach Stewart was at the plate yesterday. A couple of home runs against Tennessee. Senior from Lebanon, Missouri. Cody Howard, 6'1", 210. Redshirt senior from the Woodlands. We don't expect him to be out there more than, what, 50 pitches today, if that?
Yeah, 50's probably their ideal number.
9 appearances for the Longhorns last year. Pitching out of the bullpen. And got that low strike, 1-1. So Jim Schlossnagle at some point today is planning on throwing his first 2 starters. normal Friday, Saturday guys. And if Texas wins, that's a big if, especially already down 2. They'll figure out tomorrow when they get there. Swing and a miss for Stewart. Back-to-back Ks for Howard.
If he can get that elevated fastball going, that's the one that's going to be tough for guys to get to. It's a little bit lower arm angle, but the fastball has a lot of carry. So it's just a combination of arm angle and stuff that you don't see very often. For Arkansas, you got to shove that fastball down to really have a chance.
Here's T.J. Poppy, junior from Capel, Texas, transferred in from Texas Tech, where he was a freshman All-America. And Howard really leaning on that mid-90s fastball. Poppy's had a pretty good run in the Yellowhammer State. Their series in Tuscaloosa. He went 6 for 12 with a couple of home runs. Was the SEC Player of the Week. 1-1. And then yesterday, 3 for 4 with a home run, drove in 3. Already matches career total at Texas Tech in long ball. Slider in for a strike. He is prone to strikeouts, second most in the league at 75. And ripped into left field. Poppy headed for second on a wet track. Pack's throw rolls in, and it's a 2-out double for T.J. Poppy. Second extra base hit of this opening frame. Already the 9th in the last 3 first innings for Arkansas.
Yeah, it just seems like T.J. Poppy's starting to get it going at the plate right now. It was a nut-outer home run in Arkansas's first game. This time got a fastball, maybe a little bit off the end of the bat right there, but definitely got to it in plenty of time. The minute he saw where Peck Jr. was playing in left field and his ball came off the bat, it's entirely his decision, and he didn't break stride. Easily in there at second base for a 2-out double.
Pretty good run here for Arkansas. Going back to late April, they won the Missouri series, the Ole Miss series, the Oklahoma series, the Kentucky series. It's after dropping game 1 to Kentucky and a first pitch strike to Nolan Souza. It's now a 4-game SEC win streak. Pardon me, a 3-game SEC win streak with the victory over Tennessee. Pulled up the middle. That one will reach center field. Around third is Poppy. Pendergrass sends a throw back to second. And Arkansas tallies another. They are making some noise here in this opening frame, especially against a Texas team that has really nothing to lose coming into today's game.
No, zero. You can somewhat argue they don't have a lot to gain either.
That was the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it's your glass half full. Apparently, I'm not. Arkansas does, though, and we talked about it off the top of the show. They have, I think, a little work to do to squarely be in the hosting. They're in the discussion now, but to be in that 15-16 slot to play at home, you win 2 games here, and that makes a pretty loud statement at the end of the year.
7th batter of the opening frame for Arkansas, and a first pitch slider from Howard in for a strike to Micah Newell. Arkansas has won the SEC tournament 1 time. That was in 2021. They breezed through in 4-0. They've been to the finals 5 times. Meanwhile, Texas, in its 2nd ever SEC tournament appearance last year, ran into a Tennessee buzzsaw, lost 7-5 in 12 innings, and took the 1 seed and went back home to Austin. .45 average and 8 home runs for New. He's driven in 44 this year. Howard hit a batter, gave up a home run, back-to-back strikeouts swinging, and then double and a single. And that's where we are now. Tinney receives strike 3. He K's the side, but not before the Hogs tag him for 3 here in the opening inning.
Dan McCozel got to him right away. A little breaking ball out of way. Kozel drives the left, 2-run shot there. Hogs would have 1 more. Texas offense coming up next.
story of this Texas team really does center around Tenney and Robbins.
Deep into the Lone Star State night.
This dude is hitting, no doubters.
Tenney's an outstanding player.
There go that man again. That's big power, folks.
Tenney and Robbins, Robbins and Tenney. It'll be Robbins to start and then Tenney to follow. Here's a look at the batting order for Texas. 10th in the SEC in home runs with 87 on the season. Robbins, the SEC newcomer of the year. What a season he has had since showing up from Seton Hall. And now he's pushed to right field with Darian Pendergrass getting the start in center. That shores up Texas even more defensively. 10th in the league in average, 7th in the league in home runs, and they get to face an ace in Hunter Dietz, his sophomore 6'6" lefty, comes in 7-3, 6th best ERA in the league, 2nd in the league in strikeouts with 117.
A whole lot of swing and miss and a whole lot of stuff. Could see a fastball up to 97 for Hunter Dietz. In his 10 SEC starts this season, 9 of them were quality starts. He has been Arkansas's finest on the weekend and is their ace.
Last time out on the road at Kentucky, struck out 9 against just 1 walk in 6 innings pitched against the Cats. That was a game 1 loss for Arkansas. Aiden Robbins coming to the plate, junior from Yardley, PA. Eighth in the league in OPS at 1132. And a couple of triples to his name. Newcomer of the year for a good reason. Lightly recruited out of high school. Seton Hall was the first team on him. He's stuck with that due to loyalty. He's parlayed it into a tremendous run here in the SEC. Tied for 4th in the league in home runs. And he made facing SEC pitching look pretty easy for a dude who hadn't seen this level of velocity and this level of pitching much throughout his college career.
I mean, he was better within the league than he was outside of the league this year. Was the center fielder for much of the season for the Longhorns.
Texas started the season 16-0. The Longhorns come into Hoover having won 6 of their last 8 games. They've done it with a very patient offense, leading the league in pitches per plate appearance, seeing more than 4 pitches per trip to the plate. And with Tenney waiting on deck and then Pack to follow, they can do some damage early in the game. The 2-2. Chopped to second. This is Souza. 1 down. Let's learn more about Hunter Dietz.
The stuff breakdown right here. Combination. You see the fastball already up to 94. He's shown you as much as 97 this year. He'll elevate it when he wants to, and then it's 2 different breaking balls. The slider's mid-80s. The curveball is more of the traditional top to bottom, but he throws it really hard. When he's got both going, there is differentiation between the 2. Slider is what he goes to more often, but if he's got the curveball going 2 different looks, the fastball plays up even more.
Dietz didn't get a chance to throw here yet for Arkansas. Last time he was on this mound a few years ago when he was in high school for a perfect game event. So he was saying that he's excited to pitch in this ballpark. Kylie McDaniel has him as a 1st round prospect in this summer's draft. And in there for a strike at 95. That big glove wouldn't have helped the Camden Koschel home run in the 1st. Already the 5th home run of now 9 innings at the plate for Arkansas here in Hoover. That one just off the plate. David Susi's got the dish tonight. Big bat, good flow. You know, they make those as wigs, right? You might look good on you.
Bring me one, I'll wear it.
I bet you used to have curls like that. Tenney transferred in from Notre Dame. He works a walk here, Chris Bud.
Hunter Dietz got that fastball into the mid-90s, but he struggled with the velocity after the first 2 years dealing with injuries. I was talking with Matt Hobbs, Arkansas's pitching coach, about he struggled with the mental part of, I'm afraid if I throw hard, I'm going to injure myself again. And he said it took a practice in the fall where they were just throwing, and Hobbs would look at him and he'd just go, throw harder, throw harder, throw harder, to get to that point where he would realize that if I throw hard, I'm not going to injure myself. And once he got there, said it was amazing just to watch the progress in 1 year.
Well, that velocity sitting mid-90s as he misses with 94. What happened to you when your coaches yelled, throw harder, throw harder?
Usually it went farther. Generally what followed that.
Anthony Pack Jr., third in the league in batting average at 360. Well, a great stolen base threat as well. Second in the SEC in strikeout, seconds in K per 9 at 13.4.
Matt Hobbs, the Arkansas pitching coach, was talking about Dietz before the game, and he said, you know, this fall was the first time he was totally healthy, and we wanted to see what he looked like out of the stretch because he didn't go in the stretch until we got to the Fall World Series. Literally was giving up 0 hits to this offense, and that's when they knew, okay, if healthy, we've got a real weekend guy on our hands.
Ground ball up the middle, chance for Dew. Souza, Kojal, Pack's got speed, and he got him by a hair. He wants a challenge. Eric Mosiello, the first base coach, agrees, and we'll see what this one turns out to be. You take care of the lead runner, Carson Tenney, 2 down. Eddie Newsom.
Texas is challenging the call at first base of out. This is their first challenge.
Yeah, it looks like he's pretty clearly safe right here. See a lot of challenges in the first inning, but Anthony Pack Jr., excuse me, Garrett Mosiello both saw that one really well, and I don't think this one's going to take very long.
After review, the runner at first base is safe. Texas remains it. He has 2 challenges remaining.
So the opening frame continues, and we'll see Temo Becerra for Texas. Advantage, disadvantage. One team's got a game under its belt, and the other one just showing up.
I'll tell you where I think the advantage is for catchers if they're going to challenge pitches, and potentially hitters too, because they've been out there. There was a couple in the first inning that if Carson Tenney wanted to challenge, that may have been overturned. But at least for Ryder Helfrich, he's been out there and in this environment before.
And he knows the zone. In fact, he calls the pitches for Arkansas. That pitch, the fastball misses up, 1-0. Well, Chris talked about the velocity for Hunter Dietz. One thing to keep in mind, Texas is the best hitting team in the SEC against 4-seam fastballs. As a squad, they hit 373 against the Heat. 0-in, 2-0.
It's also one of the most patient offenses, not just in the SEC, but in the league. They will force you into the zone.
7th in the country in walks. And Troy Tulowitzki leads the offense for Texas. It's a blueprint that Jim Schlossnagle put in place years ago. And he said, quite frankly, it's sentence 1, page 1, art of hitting. Ted Williams, if you are patient, you don't get in a rush to find your pitch to hit. There's Tulo. Only Oklahoma State sees more pitches per plate appearance. I wonder how many 3-0 green lights Texas gives.
None. None green lights.
Pack's got 20 bags on the season, 7th most in the league. Kind of an average Arkansas team defensively, 10th in the league in fielding percentage, 10th in errors committed. Had to shuffle some guys around. Camden Kojal getting a start this season at shortstop after he was at second, taking over for Eva Aloy. Dave Van Horn has raved about his approach at short, his reliability. Ball 4, second walk here in the opening frame from Hunter Dietz. Well, it's not just this year for Texas in this offensive approach. It is year after year, going back to his time at A&M. First in the country 4 consecutive seasons. And now Oklahoma State just snuck ahead of him.
Yeah, you can go back to TCU days, too, if you want. It's just an offensive philosophy. They're patient at the plate. They're aggressive going first to third. And this year for Texas, too, they've stolen a fair amount of bases. They've stolen over 100 bags this year.
First pitch banged up the middle off of Dietz. He's still on his knees. Texas has loaded the bases, but real concern for Arkansas.
That is 105 off the bat. You're just hoping this caught shoe. And it did not sound like it did.
Not what Dave Van Horn wanted to see to start this game.
No, and I don't know if there's much of a discussion here. We'll see, but
athletic trainer out there, Matt Hobbs, a pitching coach. Dave Van Horn joins him.
Get pitch going. Get pitch going.
And they will get the bullpen hot as quickly as possible.
Warm up down there.
Now you have the option, and Dietz is going to leave the game as a reliever. You can warm up on the game mound or warm up in the bullpen, and due to an injury, you have all the time in the world to get loose. So that's what Arkansas will do here as Hunter Dietz exits the game after just 21 pitches and takes a comebacker off the foot.
it was 95 coming in. It was 105 going out, and this didn't catch grass or dirt or anything to slow it down. There are 2 quick sounds, bang bang, and it looked like his ankle. That's what causes you more concern. And that ball went 60 feet after it hit him.
Yeah, it was not a glancing blow. Already without its most electric hitter, and Kuhio Aloy. He's pointing to where it got him, right on the top of the foot. And Arkansas will have all the time it needs to find a reliever to enter this game and enter with the bases loaded in the first. Plans have changed for Matt Hobbs and Dave Van Horn. Ace Hunter Dietz hit in the foot with a comebacker from Casey Borba. And so Steele Eaves is getting loose in the Arkansas bullpen and will have plenty of time to get warm. We mentioned it before. There is a lot on the line for Arkansas this week in Hoover. The opportunity to host in Fayetteville is hanging by a thread, but a couple of wins can change that and secure their spot to be at their home ballpark. Dave Van Horn's squad has put together a solid resume, currently projected as the number 19 overall seed. That would put them 3 spots away, so some scoreboard watching and leapfrogging to take place if they can climb.
I mean, the SEC numbers, generally, you win 17 games in the league. They've already won a game here in Hoover. That is hosting material. The piece that you generally don't see with those numbers is an RPI at 23. And that's the only thing right now that when you're looking at Arkansas puts them right on that edge of do they host or don't they host.
Remember, they were a stride away from getting out of this inning with a double play that Anthony Pack Jr. beat out to first as Eaves moves from the bullpen mound to the game mound. If you joined us late, this is what happened to Hunter Dietz.
95-mile-an-hour fastball and 105 off the bat. There is nowhere to go right there. Later on, Dietz pointed out it looked like it hit him right on the top of the foot. Fear was I thought maybe it'd get him on the side and the ankle. If it got him on the top, I mean, it hurts. Really hurts, but ultimately there are worse places to get hit. Chris?
They have x-ray machines here on site at the Hoover Met. I'm told that he is going to have one right now and be checked out. I'll let you know if I hear anything else after it gets looked at.
All right, thank you, Chris. So Steele Eaves takes over on the mound. Sophomore from Lone Oak, Arkansas, was number 4 overall prospect in the state as a two-way player, a catcher and a pitcher. 6', 210. He appeared out of the bullpen twice in each of the last 2 SEC series. You see his numbers, 5-1 with an ERA of 3.5. Pretty good bullpen overall for Arkansas, but some questions with the 2 and 3 starters throughout the course of the season. KP, let me ask you about this scenario precisely. Matt Hobbs said warm up in the bullpen. Why, when you're coming in for an injured player, when you have the choice, would you choose to warm up in the bullpen versus on the game mound?
Normalcy. I think that's the biggest thing is, I mean, it feels like a normal process of when you would warm up and get ready. And I mean, you don't have to speed it up. There's times during the game that you do have to speed it up to where they get hot as quick as you can because we may need you a hitter later. Here, that wasn't the case. Eaves can warm up essentially like a starter if he wants to, then come in and take his 8 on, well, not even 8 on the mound. He can take as many as he wants on the mound when he gets in there.
And he enters in a jam with the bases loaded and 2 down.
Give me, we'll get to this, but you can't look it up. Recent Arkansas star that was also from Lone Oak, Arkansas.
You're really putting the pressure. I got nothing. Who you got?
Is it?
Oh, you don't know the answer.
Well, it's one of those like on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to say it because it might be wrong. Hold on, I'm going to double check. I'm not going to change my answer.
Okay. Well,
not going to change. I was right.
Casey Martin.
Remember Casey Martin?
Yeah.
All tooled up and.
You know why it was named Lone Oak, don't you?
I don't, and I'm quite certain you don't either, but
there was one big oak tree in town. Well, they meet you at Lone Oak.
Then they spelled it wrong.
Yeah, well, post offices have to save some money and extra digits. Here's Adrian Rodriguez with the bases loaded and 2 down. 282 hitter. The first pitch fastball from Eaves misses outside. Eaves has 1 start on the season. That was March 31st at Missouri State midweek. Texas has a huge opportunity in this opening frame and to carry on after knocking Dietz out of the game. Lone Oak just outside of Little Rock. There's Dave Van Horn knows what's on the line for his team, and they had an impressive win against Tennessee 8-4 with 4 home runs, able to save some bullets, and they thought they had Dietz set up in a really good situation, and that got turned around by the Borba line drive.
Arkansas is challenging the call ball.
Ryder Helfrich. Just missed. So confirmed 2-1 count now to Rodriguez. I mean, it's a first inning, but this could be a high leverage situation when you're able to, or had the chance to flip the count with the bases
100%.
loaded.
Yeah, it's a good time to do it. 2-1-1-2 pitch selection could change for Eves right here.
And win probability could flip with a knock for Rodriguez. 2-2. Pack at third. Remember, he beat out the double play. Becerra drew a walk. He's at second, and then Borba delivered the shot up the middle to load the bases and send Dietz off the field.
See everything so far in this at bat to Rodriguez. Away. That movement of Eves' fastball is naturally going to move away anyway. He was trying to backdoor a breaking ball, that pitch that Helfrich challenged that was just off the plate before.
Rodriguez is batting about 90 points higher against righties and lefties this season. That one high. And it takes the count full. Listed as a switch hitter, but he's only going from the left side now. Still dealing with the hand injury that was lingering all the way back to last season when he was hit by a pitch against Missouri. Runners on the move. That's ball 4, and Texas pushes one across.
He walks in the inning, but you look back on an Ante Peck Jr. beating that ball out, totally changes what the entire inning is. If he's out at first, inning over, 1, 2, 3. It absolutely changes how Hunter Dietz is feeling right now, because if he's off the diamond, things work a little bit differently.
So they remain loaded for Ethan Mendoza. Mendoza had been playing in the field, but he's trying to get healthy, and the junior from Bedford, Texas, now limited to a DH role. Texas closed the regular season against Missouri. Mendoza went just 1 for 10 against the Tigers, and out 2-0. And that patience pays off in many ways for this Texas offense. They're second best in the SEC batting with runners in scoring position, a .340 team average, second only to Mississippi State. Popped him up, shallow left. Kojal back, still back. Ruiz coming over to help. Kojal calls for it and makes a catch. Coming back towards left field. Only 1 run allowed, but a disastrous first inning for Arkansas. Hunter Dietz out for the game.
Welcome back to the SEC baseball tournament. Cody Howard out here for the top of the second, starting today for Texas. And it might seem unorthodox what Jim Schlossnagle has done, not going with the race. But if you look back actually to last year at this tournament, he did the exact same thing, giving Ethan Walker the start on their first game through 5 innings. They lost that game, but it gave Schloss enough confidence to be able to start game 1 of the regional, which they ended up winning. They ended up falling at a regional last year. But to your point, boys, that you've talked about, it's about finding a 4th starter. It's about giving those other guys that start some opportunity out of the pen. And if it worked for him last year, that you're able to find a guy that gets you some confidence, liked it enough to go round 2 this year.
Yeah, he's an opener as much of a starter, although they'd love for him to graduate to that as Carter Rutenbar falls down in the count 0-2. A lot of it, KP, also circles around the health of Ruger Riojas, who only faced 1 batter in the Missouri series. Here's the 0-2 to Rutenbar, and he gets him swinging at 94. All 4 outs have come via the K for Cody with a C. Howard.
Well, the fastball plays, and especially when it's up, and you've seen most of the swings and misses that Arkansas has taken have been on elevated fastballs, and a lot of them up and out of the zone. That was the exact same thing right there.
So 1 down. There's Ruger Riojas. 14 starts on this season, 2nd in the league in strikeout to walk ratio. They would love for him to get more rest and be full strength. I mentioned earlier the game plan, should Texas win for tomorrow, would be we'll figure it out when we get there, because they also like to use Luke Harrison out of the bullpen, their number 2 starter today. Here's Reese Robinette at the plate. And he chops it off his end.
I think I'd be surprised if Riojas throws this weekend, regardless, even if they played 2 more games after this. They are in full let's get ready for next weekend role right now, and I think it's very understandable given that they're going to be a top 8 regardless of whether they win this game, lose this game, or win the whole tournament.
Outside 2-1, and part of that game plan, especially specific to Luke Harrison, is they'd love to start him game 1 against their local 4 seed, and so they don't want Luke to have to throw on short rest, and that's the goal of using him today. By the way, that's a pretty good bullpen if they have to lean on it tomorrow. Like if you're going to go Volantis and Harrison, you probably don't need many more arms should Howard get you through the 2nd. Right. And then you got a full slate of dudes down there, including a guy by the name of Sam Kozar, who's been pretty filthy all year.
Texas isn't light on arms.
15th in the country in ERA. That one just inside. And Carson Tinney says, let's take a look. They'll put the ABS in play.
Texas is challenging the call of ball.
Arkansas missed on its ABS challenge in the 1st. That one just off the plate. Good call by David Susi. Missed by 9/10 of an inch.
Coming into this game, 59% of the challenges have been overturned. Much higher percentage, 65% if the catcher asks, only 45% for the hitter.
Missed with 95. Hit batter and a walk. First trip to the order to pair with 4 strikeouts for Cody Howard. So Texas will enter the postseason with a shiny resume. Number 4 RPI, number 14 strength of schedule, 14 quad 1 wins. E1's got him as a number 5 national seed. See much movement among the top 5?
I don't see a whole lot of movement between the top 7. Honestly, I think the top 7 are pretty well set.
Ooh, up and into Ruiz, who was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Now, they could move a little bit between who those 7 are and where they're slotted, but I think the top 7 are pretty much set.
22 consecutive games on base for Damian Ruiz. Squibber through the right side. That one will slow nearly to a stop before it's picked up by Aiden Robbins. What about the number 1 national seed? Because we see some shuffling up the top.
It's entirely dependent upon UCLA. If UCLA wins a Big Ten tournament, UCLA is the number 1 seed, no doubt. If they were to get beat, then I think there at least becomes a discussion after that, and it would be one of these other three, either Georgia Tech, Georgia, or North Carolina. North Carolina's already won today at the ACC tournament. Georgia Tech put 16 on the board yesterday. I don't think we've ever seen an RPI in the double digits be a #1 overall seed. That would be the only thing that would hold Georgia back in their strength of schedule outside of the SEC. But UCLA wins it. UCLA's your 1 seed.
Cam Colgill's got a home run already today. That one looked appetizing. 0-1. Georgia won the league going away. I mean, think about the strength of this league, especially the top half. There could be as many 12 teams make the postseason. And Georgia could have taken the last weekend off and still won the regular season.
Some of it comes down to how much you're going to value the RPI and how much will that benefit or be detrimental to Georgia. I don't see how they fall below 4. There's no way they can, given what they've done with the league. It's just whether or not they push up beyond that.
Ripped to center field. Pendergrass back, gone. Whoa! Way out of here. Bounced it off the speakers above the batter's eye. Arkansas leads the SEC in average home run distance, 401.5 on average. Add another 50 feet nearly to that one. 449 for Cam Colgill.
Kid wants to go home again. Had a chance to play in Omaha at the College World Series last year. The pride of Millard South High School in Omaha. Home runs number 19 and 20. The 20th cleared the batter's eye in center and went 449 feet.
Here's Ryder Helfrich. We have seen gazillion games at this ballpark. I've never seen anyone hit the speakers.
No.
Now we've seen him pulled over the scoreboard and right. That was a Spanberger-like shot.
Yeah.
He is up the average with his 2 swings today. Ball and 2 strikes to Ryder Helfrich, the year the catcher in college baseball, and Helfrich one of the best.
We got 2 catchers in this ball game that could both go in the first round of the draft. Helfrich right now slated a little bit higher than Carson Tinney, but I do think you heard both of their names called in that first round. If you're a major league team, you'd be happy to get either one of them.
This ballpark opened in 1988. It was a longtime home of the AA Birmingham Barons, in addition to being home to this SEC tournament since '98. Ken Dunlap has been here. He's our stats guy. He was a clubhouse guy here for a million years. He has seen just about every game in this ballpark. We have come up with 2 players who have hit a ball off the scoreboard in this ballpark. Mike Kelly for the Greenville Braves and Carlos Delgado playing for the Knoxville Smokies.
Who is we in that equation?
The guy next to me.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Little flare to third.
This would be getting all of it. Camden Colgill, 2 home runs in 2 innings. The first to left center, this to the biggest part of the ballpark. And if not for the speakers, that was going into the woods. Kenny, add another name to your whiteboard over there, because we got one more.
Oh, man. Nate Thompson says, boom. Took the base right out of the speakers. Zach Stewart at the dish. "13 home runs on the season and 35 driven in." Blake Burke for Tennessee a few years ago hit one like halfway into the trees down the right field line. When Gabe Gross was playing AA ball, he hit one in that same direction. But straightaway center. That's manpower for Cam Colgill. Squirrels are thankful the speaker stopped it. Tipped into the catchers, meant 1 and 2. And we are seeing the ball just rocket out of the ballpark this year,
especially when this team's hitting here. 6 home runs, 5 of them well over 400 feet.
There's a theory that it is ball related, and if you look not at the major league stats or even the AAA stats, if you go down and look at the AA numbers, home runs are up through the roof so far in the minor league season. AAA ball is now the big league ball, so these made in Costa Rica would be similar to the AA ball and below, and they are stitching those extra tight. And Cam Kojal nearly ripped the stitches right off of Mr. Rawlings on this one.
2-run shot in the first, and Cam Kojal says, I'm going to add one more to it. 449 to dead center, 2 home runs in 2 innings. He's already driven in 5. The Hogs 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Off to a quick start. It's 6-1 Arkansas.
Two home runs on the day, and there's only one thing he likes more than hitting the long ball, and that's fishing.
Oh, guys! Oh, big large now, big large now. Oh, big large now. Oh. Oh. Yes! Oh, guys! Oh, baby.
That is Kojal's YouTube series that he started this summer, showing everyone how he fishes. He brought some teammates out. You can see it on his YouTube channel. He likes fishing so much that that is actually the place that he went to take his now fiance to propose.
Well, I
Wait
noticed.
for it. The picture's coming. We got it.
All right.
Because nothing would be more on brand than Cam Kojal to propose while fishing.
That all makes sense.
Ashton Larson at the plate for Texas. That is one soggy knee, I'm guessing.
She is actively fishing at the time, too.
She's like, hold on. That can wait. The bobber's going down.
I love that he bought all of this film equipment. He put it on his chest. He brought his friends out there, edited this all together, and then in the video he's just going, at the end you don't see it, he goes, I hope I'm filming.
Yeah.
Well, I was curious. He was yelling, guys, hey guys, but he was the only one in that corner, right? Like, this is my fishing hole. You guys be on the other side of the lake. Larson rung up. As Steele Eves notches his first K. If you joined us late, Cam Kojal's hit 2 home runs, but challenging situation for Arkansas going forward will be the question of the health of Hunter Dietz, their starting pitcher. Got hit with a comebacker in the foot and had to leave the game. Now Darian Pendergrass. Well, here's something to watch for Texas. It's the play of Darian Pendergrass, who was a late add to the roster after playing small college ball to start his career. and first 2 seasons playing for Spartanburg Methodist. And the Hartsville, South Carolina native went on to College of Charleston. Top 10 in the country in stolen bases last year. And a fight through a couple of injuries. Another comebacker. Eves takes care of that one. That'll leave a bruise. And Matt Hobbs to the top step, but Steele Eves, he's a former catcher. He's used to wearing it. Where'd this one get him?
Yeah, usually when you wear it, you get gear on. This one got the old backside right there. If you're going to wear one, at least probably the spot you'd pick.
Here's Aiden Robbins. Nothing more?
No.
95 at the knees. Dave Van Horn thinking, what are we doing? Can we put an L screen out there for the rest of the day? Eves was a #1 catching prospect in the state coming out of Lone Oak High School. Banking ball misses away to Robbins. 1-1. But I doubt as a catcher he ever took one there. If he did, he was facing the wrong direction.
If he did, he probably wasn't catching the next pitch.
Robbins grounded out to second his first time up. Product of Seton Hall. Started the season in the 3-hole, moved his way up to the leadoff spot. Led the Pirates in hitting the last 2 seasons. Check swing didn't go, according to Jason Bradley.
I think the biggest surprise this year for Robbins has been the power jump. I don't know if anybody expected he'd be sniffing 20 home runs, but his ability to pull the ball with power in the air has led to the home run total going up significantly.
But a pair of 2 home runs games against Texas A&M, and A&M head coach Michael Early, who was a hitting coach at Arizona State before he came to A&M, played pro ball, been around a little bit, said simply, Aiden Robbins is one of the best hitters I've ever seen.
That's quite a statement, because he's got a few of them on his roster that aren't bad. I mean, they knew they were getting a great bat to ball guy. They didn't know that they were necessarily getting this leadoff hitter with an OPS above 1100, and he's got a chance to hit 20 home runs.
Swing and a miss. Eves gets his second K, puts his side down in order in the second.
Still Eves up to 94-95 with a fastball, but this time finishes one of the better hitters in the league with a wipeout slider. Down and away. 1-2-3 second inning. We come back. Talk to Jim Schlossnick, head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by Regions Bank. Now joined with Jim Schlossnagle. We saw Howard that first 2 innings. What'd you see from him?
I mean, he did a nice job throwing strikes. You know, hit a guy, just had the 1 walk, a couple balls that weren't hit that hard, and then 2 that were really hit hard. So he threw strikes. We learned more about him. Obviously not the results we want, but I thought he filled the strike zone up.
You put in Luke Harrison. We talked a little bit, but what is the philosophy of how you approached your pitching today?
I mean, we want to win the game, but we're trying to get Luke an appearance out of the bullpen. We'd like to get Dylan Valanis in the game, but we're trying to win the game too. So we'll see how it plays out.
With what you've seen so far from your team heading into the postseason, what have you appreciated most about the way that they've attacked the SEC schedule?
I think we've done a good job of riding out the lows. Just the tough losses. I mean, I think anytime you play 10 series in this league and you win 8 of them, that's awesome. That's really good. And I think we only had 1 sweep, so we had to deal with some really tough losses, some late inning losses, and the guys responded well.
Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
The first time they really experienced that was the series on the road at A&M. Got swept in a 2-game rain-shortened series after winning their first 4 SEC series against Ole Miss, on the road at Auburn, Oklahoma at home, and at South Carolina. So Luke Harrison takes over, as Chris mentioned. Senior from Friendswood, Texas, has been the #2 starter for the Longhorns, 6-3 with a 4.76 ERA.
This is something he hadn't done in a couple of years. Luke Harrison, a stalwart in the weekend the last 2 years.
He's facing TJ Poppy to start off the inning. Poppy with a double and a run scored. And Schloss mentioned it. Dylan Valanis has experience coming out of the bullpen. That's where he was last year. But thinking ahead, we may need these guys at some point, weather related, extra innings related, fall into a loser's bracket, all of that stuff possible where you need or ask one of your starting pitchers to come out of the bullpen.
Yeah,
He's trying to cover all his bases.
You look at regionals, that's probably the spot where if Luke Harrison starts game 1 and Texas gets a big lead, you get him out of there with 65, 70, 80 pitches even.
Texas is challenging the ruling of ball.
If you have to play a Monday game, a game 7 of the regional, theoretically he could come out of the bullpen in that game.
Carson Tenney 0 for 2. And Texas will have 1 ABS challenge remaining. And Poppy goes down on strikes regardless. So 1 down, and Nolan Souza coming up.
So you probably go Harrison too. If they do want to get Valanis in the ballgame, you want him in a game with a clean start. I don't see Valanis coming in the middle of an inning.
Sure. Here's Nolan Souza, got an RBI single earlier. Three runs in each of the first 2 innings for Arkansas tonight. And Kojel's driven in 5 of them. We haven't had a 3-home run game since Chad Spanberger did it for Arkansas back in 17. He was one of the rare instances of an MVP for a team that didn't win the tournament. The length of the one that went off the speakers, he might already be in Spanberger territory. That was quite
memorable.
a showing.
That's one of those that you think about every time you come back to this ballpark for the first time every year. Spanberger hit one to right, hit one to center, hit one to left, and none of them snuck out.
Up and in, 2-2. By the way, the home run for Kojal went up the speakers, the 4th longest home run for Arkansas this season. Kahil Aloy has 2 of the top 3, and one of them ended up in a food truck. In on the thumbs, Harrison 2 down. And Mike Anu coming to the plate. So if Arkansas can't play its way into a host situation,
they go one of two places.
Both in the Midwest. Yeah. Go up to Lawrence or keep going and go all the way to Lincoln.
Lincoln would be interesting for a variety of reasons.
You know Will Bolt's nickname?
No.
Little DVH.
Really?
Yeah.
See that?
Little flare. That one drops into center. Will, the head coach at Nebraska, longtime Texas A&M assistant, went to Omaha playing for Dave Van Horn in Nebraska.
DVH took the Huskers to Omaha 2 times before he went to Arkansas. First 2 times the program had ever been there.
7 trips to Omaha for this Arkansas program.
In fact, I believe Rob Childress was his pitching coach at Nebraska, who was now back in that same role doing the same thing for Will Bolt.
Here's Carter Rutenbar. Sky to shallow right. Becerra will handle it himself. Got some friends to hang out with him. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. Middle of the 3rd, 6-1 Hogs. '26 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC. They have to rename this ballpark if Camden Kogel keeps it going. Ooh, horns down.
See that one?
Emphatic.
Quite yet.
Crooked numbers in the 1st and the 2nd for the Hogs, and first multi-home run game of the season for Kogel. He looks a little dialed in, I think.
Yeah. I mean, in all likelihood, it'll be a pretty good draft this year. He'll probably move on to pro ball, so he understands how important this time of year is.
Luke Harrison 1 inning into his work, and here's Steele Eves, who had to enter out of the Arkansas bullpen, facing 2, 3, and 4, starting with Carson Tenney. Tied for 3rd with 20 home runs in the league. He's driven in 54. First SEC tournament for Tenney. Picked up in foul territory by Pompey.
First 2 years at Notre Dame, and this was a guy when he went in the portal at his position from a catching standpoint that was the most sought after guy in the entire country.
Finalist for the Buster Posey Award last year with the Irish, first team All-America by a couple publications. And he's hitting .487 when he leads off an inning. Is that a cutter from Eves? 2-2.
Yeah, he'll cut the fastball. You see the two different movements. That's 90 miles an hour, too, so it's getting up there pretty good. And then the two-seamer has a bunch of horizontal break. It was the first two pitches of this at-bat inside the tinning. Like that.
Tenney swinging a hot bat. He torched Mizzou pitching for a 7-for-13 weekend, including 3 home runs. Drove in 10. An OPS of 1933 for the weekend. Aim inside on him. Tenney at Notre Dame a couple of years ago only made 15 starts. He had to battle through some injuries and settled into his own with 46 starts last year to lead the team in average, home runs, and RBI. Full count. He crushed ACC pitching last year, had an OPS and ACC play of 1322. That, along with his receiving skills, the reason he was so sought after in the portal.
He's just a rock. I mean, both these guys, it's, you talk about the year of the catcher, and it is, especially draft year and even beyond that, but they're two of the best ones you're going to see.
He's a big dude, 6'4", 240.
Yep.
Eaves is K3 of the last 4.
Yeah, and he went back to the fastball, but he backdoored the two-seamer, and they had been going in on Tenney with that fastball the entire at bat, and this one I think he just gave up. Probably thought it was a cutter based on location, and the movement brought it right back over the outside part of the plate.
Base is empty for Anthony Pack Jr. He beat out the throw to first, and it would be inning double play, and that had disastrous consequences for Arkansas because 2 batters later Dietz was knocked out of the game. It's a fair expectation for Eaves in terms of work tonight.
50 pitches, I'd say. I mean, he hasn't reached the 50 pitch mark this year. He's been just shy of it, but I don't think that's too much of an ask.
Well, big jump for Anthony Pack Jr., freshman from Lakewood, California, batting in the 3-hole for one of the nation's best teams. Pulls that one foul. His coaching staff raved about him and the work that he made, and the leaps that he made in the offseason. Coming out of high school, Millikan High School, Southern California, played on a field that didn't have lights, didn't have a fence, never lifted weights. Wouldn't know it.
No.
Check swing. They say he went, and Helfrich will apply the tag for good measure. That's 4 straight Ks now for Eaves.
He's starting to get a little bit of a groove right now. This is a different shape on the breaking ball. We saw the cutter earlier. This is more of a traditional slider. He gets over the top. It has a bunch of down, a different look than Pack had seen the entire at bat, and that bat definitely went far enough away. Good job by Ryder Helfrich to box that thing up, keep it right in front of him.
Well, 2 down in the 3rd. Temo Becerra is the cleanup hitter for Texas. Fifth-year senior from Clovis, California, transferred in from Stanford. Earned his undergrad degree from Stanford before he left. Came to Texas. Played in the College World Series with the Cardinal.
Started every game at shortstop last year for him. And was a key this year for Texas. The ability to play shortstop when Rodriguez was out. Then he played some third. Now they moved him to second. Now they've moved him all the way up to cleanup spot in the order.
Reno to Becerra drew a walk in the first when Dietz was on the mound. All right, this is unfair. If you're playing 500 on the berm and everybody's got regulation gloves and some dude rolls in with a 3-foot pink promotional glove.
Well, he's in the wrong spot. You can't be in the back.
That's true.
I mean, if you're going to have that, you got to go right in the middle of it, man. Come on. Put your head down. Create some space.
Full count.
It's not happening. You get on up there. Take the one in a green shirt out. Just go bump him right out of there. Get right in the middle of it.
It's a slick playing surface. He'll slide all the way down to the bottom of the hill. All regulation gloves on the right field line.
That's the advanced game.
Eves battling with Becerra. Eves has struck out 3 in a row and 4 or 5. Pulled to third under the glove of Poppy. Becerra motors his way to second as it's picked up by Ruiz. Poppy could have used one of those big pink gloves.
Yeah, this one kind of ate him up. I mean, watch where the glove starts and where it ends up, and he tries to flip it over right at the last minute to make a play. I think he thought this ball was going to hop up. It did. It hit right off the lip. Right off the lip, and it kept it down. So he had it popping a little bit higher. Instead, it hits the lip and goes right through the wickets into left field.
9th error of the season. Charge at TJ Pompey. That's 10th most in the SEC.
I'm working on a theory here.
All right.
All right, we're going to see if this plays out. So my man down the left field line got the foul ball. I'm going to assume that it's his parents behind him. Okay. Turn around and gave the ball to his mom. If that is part of the plan, he's going to have they're going to have a bucket full of baseballs when they go at it. I mean, that's brilliance right there.
Maybe he's trying to trade the ball for a bite of the chicken sandwich.
No, I'm telling you what he's doing. He's trying to fill his room with them right now. And otherwise, you can't put them in your pocket. You're going to get in trouble as a ball boy. But what you can do is you can have your parents sit directly behind you. And every time you could just give each one. Now, the game will see whether the theory tests itself out right here. But I'm feeling pretty strong about this one. That's advanced.
Mm-hmm. It's a thinking man's game. First offering low to Casey Borba. Borba with the hot shot up the middle off the foot of Hunter Dietz. He's 1 for 1 today. We've got him on tape.
If we're building a case, this is Exhibit A. Okay. See, and she's acting surprised. That's part of the whole ruse here. We're
oh, right in her pocket. What about that chicken you promised me?
Got to get to 5. We told you what the rules are.
Watching on the ESPN app. One and 2 to Borba. Are you trying to get the kid fired?
No,
it's a non-paying gig.
I smell what he's cooking, and I'm all in on the recipe. I think it's brilliant. I just want to see if it actually plays out. There should be no punishment for a wonderful idea.
Swing and a miss. 5 Ks for Eves. Camden Kojal, the power hitting middle infield for Arkansas, due up third for the Hogs.
Little studio update. Game 1 of the Super Regional in Fayetteville. After a 4-hour rain delay, Duke and Arkansas went back at it. Razorbacks got hot. Carly Davidson, the walk-off home run. Now, one went away from their first trip to OKC. Guys, did Cam Kozel hit number 3?
If he does, he's going to move into Spanberger territory, MVP of the 2017 SEC tournament. Arkansas played in the final that year. That is best of anybody so far. And first pitch in for a strike. Brought to Kennett, Missouri, Reese Robinette. Spanberger hit .421 in the tournament in 17. And that monster game came against Auburn. That was a tournament record for home runs and RBIs. Clipped him.
Quick pitched him too. There's every once in a while when guys do that, you're going to mess up because your body just doesn't have quite enough time to get that arm synced up. Some kind of onesie-twosie go.
Did you drop a onesie-twosie?
And then go. Yeah, that's what that is. Everybody knows that.
It's kind of like the pass rush, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yes.
Backyard two-hand touch.
Here's those days.
Damian Ruiz. Arkansas's had a lot of moving parts, and it's batting order and bullpen and rotation this year. Part of the reason they lost 12 games at home, which is a rarity. Robinette seeing action at first. They played a couple of guys over there. Ruiz has settled in and left.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
What's the ball boy's going to do?
Come on, come on. Oh.
Well, that could
He's
be
in on it. He's in on it. Now, I mean,
maybe he's throwing you off the scent. Low to Ruiz, who was a Southland Conference Hitter of the Year at Lamar. First team All Southland honors. Drew nearly twice as many walks as strikeouts last year for Lamar. He'd been out with a patella strain for a couple of weeks. Then he bounces one up the middle. Chance for 2, 4, 6, 3. And a tumbling reception by Larson. So that'll help out when you're facing Camden Kojo with the bases empty. Take you back to 2017. Chad Spanberger, right field, center field. Eventually, 3 home runs in the game. By the way, this was a combined no-no. Dom Toccolini, Matt Cronin, and Josh Alberina for Alberius, excuse me, for Arkansas. That's a good night at the ballpark.
that's a short post-game speech right there.
Here's what Spanberger did that was so impressive. His home runs came in his first 3 at-bats in the tournament. Welcome to Hoover.
And everybody forgets about the no-hitter.
Right. Already 5 ribbies. How do you pitch to a guy who's already gone yard twice?
Ideally, you get the 2 guys out in front of him. And that's where you start with. That was yesterday. This is today. And this one goes really far. I didn't think to put like netting over the speakers out there because, well, they have netting, but a fence.
And he smokes one into center field.
Boring. 105 off the bat to center.
What a letdown.
I'd say he's pretty comfortable in the box right now.
Got the Jordan tongue wag after. So here's Helfrich. Oh for 2 with a strikeout. Caught Gage Wood's no-hitter last year in Omaha against Murray State. And Phillies are playing great baseball right now. There is a lot of Gage Wood hype in the Phillies organization. Jumped up to Double-A. Not a bad start for Cam Koljal.
Remember last year, it's probably halfway through the season. Went down to do a series at Arkansas. We're walking to see DVH and walked past Matt Hobbs' office. They said, "How are you?" And he didn't even answer the question other than to say Gage Wood. Okay.
Pretty excited.
He's on your team. I can understand why that puts you in a good mood.
He motored through high A. Gage Wood so far this season struck out 40 of the first 105 batters he faced.
That's why you get a short-term lease.
Yes. Have air mattress will travel. 0-2 to Helfrich will wait. Snap throw. What'd you think about Helfrich behind the plate in that no-no?
His explanation of what they threw was a riot afterwards. He goes, it was just fastball middle. And Gage Wood would just rip it as hard as he possibly could at the top of the zone. And they did it for 3 hours straight.
Helfrich with a strikeout and a pop out so far. The breaking ball stays up in the zone. 2-2. Helfrich was 0 for 2 against Tennessee with a couple of walks. And that will close the 4th. Double play helped. And another K for Luke Harrison. We'll hear from the head hog, Dave Van Horn, with Chris Budden when we return.
Welcome back to the SEC Baseball Tournament. Joined with Arkansas head coach Dave Van Horn. I know it's early, but what do you know about the extent of Hunter Dietz' injury?
Well, thank goodness he's going to be okay. I mean, we were just hoping it wasn't fractured, and it's not. You know, they've already x-rayed it, so it looks like we're good there, just kind of sore.
How do you manage the bullpen moving forward?
Well, you know, we brought in, obviously, Eves did a great job, and now we're going with Gackle. A lot of people thought we were going to start Gackle tomorrow, and we would have. We didn't have to use him today, but, you know, we just want to win this game, and we'll move on from there. And I will say this about Dietz. He was sick as a dog, and we didn't know it till 5 minutes before the game. And he was in there dry heaving. Right before the game, one of the coaches heard it, went in there, and he's like, I don't feel real good. So we just need to get him right.
I do want to ask you about Cam Koljal. It seems like over the last 2 days he wants to get back to his hometown of Omaha. What have you seen from him, particularly the power?
pretty much amazing and done a lot of the damage with 2 strikes. I like to just kind of shorten that stroke up a little bit, waiting for a good pitch. And, man, that one that went off that speaker out there, I don't know if I've seen one hit that hard here.
We've done the research. There's only been about 2 since this place opened in 1988. We appreciate the time, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. You said Steele Eves was dry heaving, so was the fan base and maybe the coaching staff when this happened back in the first inning with Hunter Dietz on the mound. X-rays negative.
I mean, we got microphones all over the place, but that's not a sound you want to hear right there. Yeah, finally they get good news from the X-ray machine.
Could have heard that in Montgomery. So Gabe Gackle takes over for Arkansas. 11 starts to his name this season and back out of the bullpen for the first time since the Missouri series in late April.
This is big time stuff, man. It has bounced back and forth between a starting role, bullpen role. Generally has looked a lot more comfortable when he's come out of the bullpen.
And Adrian Rodriguez flies it to right. Zach Stewart, 1 down. Is it the velocity that plays up out of the bullpen that makes Gackle more comfortable or effective?
Control. It's been more control of the stuff, because if he's in the zone, he's not going to give up too many hits, man. It is mid to upper 90s. That was an 89 mile an hour changeup right there to Rodriguez. The breaking ball is hammer. You know, if they had depth in the weekend rotation, and they really haven't past Dietz, then you probably put him back in the bullpen for sure.
Yeah.
But he could be a swing guy when they get into the postseason, depending on. I mean, that's the thing for Arkansas. Being a 1 seed, being a 2 seed could make a real difference as far as who they pitch game 1 in the region.
Here's Ethan Mendoza, 0 for 1 with a pop up to short. Gackle lost his footing. Gackle got the start at Kentucky, went 5 1/3, allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, and well, his footing looked fine. He just lost his balance. Dave Van Horn needs a moment of zen. Dietz got hit. Eves got hit. Gackle's fallen off the mound, and they're leading by 5.
Right.
Just get me to next week, preferably with a couple of wins. '97 out of the zone. And a 1-out walk to Mendoza brings Ashton Larson up. Larson transferred into Texas from LSU. He's given them some defensive versatility. He had never played first base before earlier this season, and then got thrown into the fire in the A&M series. Told us in, he said, I'm learning something new every day at first. That went off of his foot. And so now with Borba moved over to the hot corner, Becerra shifted to second. Larson back at first base.
Here's the good one. It's that good power breaking ball that Gackle has. We've already seen a fastball up to 97. It's the walk number that's got him this year. 31 walks in 61 2/3, and now another walk in this inning.
Chase 95 up in the zone.
And look at how we're changing eye levels back to back. It's a swing and miss breaking ball that ends up down and out of the zone, but it looks like a strike out of his hand. And this is This is what you got to guard against, that elevated fastball at 95 that just stays up and out of the zone, and Larson can't hold off.
And the 9-hole hitter, Darian Pendergrass. Just his 7th start of the season. Mentioned earlier, he was a late addition to this Texas roster. He was sitting in the portal. Texas had a need.
They were concerned about outfield depth, if they had any injuries, and now Pendergrass has stepped in. They love the defense. They love his ability to control the bat. So if they got to move somebody over or bunt for a hit, you saw him show in this at bat already.
Jonah Williams, the football player, injured his shoulder going after a foul ball against USC Upstate. And Pendergrass came back from a back injury and then a hamstring injury. 2 years at Spartanburg Methodist and College of Charleston. His late brother Darrell played at Claflin in his home state of South Carolina. One of its 5 siblings. Pitch in there for a strike on the breaking ball, and back-to-back Ks for Gackle. 4 innings complete, 6-1 Arkansas. More power coming for the Hogs. Zach Stewart will lead off. Here at Hoover.
That was the first yesterday. Then Stewart just about hit his face. There was the second. Then Stewart hit it in the trees. That was the third. Then Poppy came up, hits the 4th of the game, and one hops a Mazda out in the parking lot. It was over 1,700 feet of home runs yesterday for the Hogs, and they've hit 2 more of them today.
Man. Second game today will be Auburn and Texas A&M. What's your take on power surge we've seen
here?
Yeah, or overall?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's a ton more than here it is, but it doesn't feel like over the course of the season it's a ton more than last year. I know it's up some. Caleb Rogers is on for the 2nd time this season. The only previous appearance was last game of the series last weekend. It's a mid-90s fastball for Rogers.
Stewart 0 for 2 tonight. Couple of strikeouts, both swinging. one will reach the seats. Clear the mechanism. Strikes out Zach Stewart.
This kid faced one hitter the whole year.
One guy.
Cutter at 90, elevates at 96, and then has that thing. Top to bottom breaking ball at 80 miles an hour. I feel like this happens every year we come here. Somebody trots out there and you're like, I haven't seen him all year. And they go, oh, we see you again.
DJ Poppy's got a double and a strikeout to his name today. .95 at the top of the zone.
He's gonna smile.
What do you think he's picturing when he closes his eyes?
He's not picturing your golf swing.
It's so unfair.
Certainly.
That would go back to the dry heaving Dave Van Horn was talking about. Be careful. You close your eyes when there's a runner on. Poppy with a base hit on the breaking ball. View from Jason Bradley. Problem with Happy Gilmore's happy place, if that's what you envision, is there is also the devil on the other shoulder. Can get you out of whack real quick. Here's Nolan Souza. Picturing 95 right down Main Street.
It's interesting. You look at Texas's pitching staff. Max Grubbs is now out for the year, and this Caleb Rogers had not pitched the entire season. They potentially was going to redshirt it, but with Grubbs out, Max Wiener, Jim Schlossnagle had a discussion with him. He had been throwing really well in midweek games, and stuff plays.
Well, and here's the other element. And Jim Schlossnagle talked about this. He is so confident. It's a pretty close move.
It's also really good footwork by Larson because he came in and went back, and it's a great way to sell the pick.
He's so confident that NCAA is going to go to 5-year residency, essentially. Pitches in for a strike, throw to second is high. That you're not burning a red shirt because once we get new legislation passed, there will be no such thing as a red shirt.
Fair.
So 5 years to play for, or 5 to 5, whatever they come up with. Pretty good jump for Poppy.
Yeah, 16-18 now on the year in stolen bases.
Through the backside. Poppy will be stopped at third by Bobby Wernes, and Arkansas has runners at the corners.
100 miles an hour off the bat, but watch the break of Poppy right here. He froze thinking there was a chance that the play was going to be made, but it was hit so hard, no way. If he's going on the bat, maybe you take a chance. Right there, Pack was playing fairly decently. Deep out in left field, but instead Bobby Wernes puts the stop sign on. First and third one out here for the Hogs.
Well, Luke Harrison threw 31 pitches over 2 innings. Did you expect him to go a little bit farther?
No, and if Valanis comes in, I think it's probably the same thing. It's 6 outs, 25 to 35 pitches probably would be ideal.
The part that surprises me, I understand they had a goal to get Rogers some work. That's a cool tee for half the fans here. Is that they didn't go to Valanis with a clean inning?
Well, I think they will. I mean, when they go to him,
I just thought they'd go those two back to back. What do I know? Like Anu is 1 for 2.
It's a logical thought.
Not a word that's usually applied to me, but thank you. Eight home runs, 44 driven in. You know, our friends at True Media do a fantastic job offering up incredible statistical whatever I'm saying, on these players. And I just instinctually went to look up Caleb Rogers, forgetting that he'd only faced 1 batter.
Here's a sheet.
7 pitches?
Yes. Go. We have scout report right here. Here, just do this. Look at it right here.
Yeah, show the camera. Go. Show the camera with the scatter.
We got a scatter chart down there too. Look at this.
Wow. You pay for color copies, huh?
I guess I did in this case. The expense report.
2-1-0. He's low and away. New struck out looking to end the first and had a 2-out single last time up. And a walk will load the bases. But do you think Max Wiener has anything to do, or how much impact does he have on this whole Zen-like move for Caleb Rogers where he closes his eyes before the pitch?
I would say 100%. Yes, 100%.
Ethan Walker getting loose. Looks like they'll go there now. Cade Stewart. And then got Pompey. Pompey delivered a single, Souza the single, and a walk to New. And a season high 15 pitches thrown by Caleb Rogers. The loaded hats are out. Bases are loaded for Arkansas with 1 down in the 5th. Back to the pen. We roll on from Hoover. Who won ketchup versus mustard, by the way?
Ketchup, running away.
I relish those in-between acts. Here's a look at the bracket. Georgia and Florida tomorrow in the first semi. And we get A&M and Auburn later tonight. We're pushed back about 90 minutes due to thunderstorms rolling through central Alabama. Ethan Walker, Texas Longhorn, enters, 6-foot junior, 1-1 with an ERA of 3 even. And the bases are loaded for Arkansas and Carter Rutenbar.
Walker on for the 21st time this year. He's only thrown 15 innings, so it's been primarily a matchup guy. There's nobody else up and warming other than throwing a football in the Texas Longhorn bullpen right now. Now we're moving around.
A lot of room at the end of the bat handle for Rutenbar, and he fights this one off into the seats. 1-2. Rutenbar 0 for 2. Pretty good battle here. Good matchup.
It is a good matchup, and for the freshman Rutenbar, this is one that Arkansas is pretty excited about. He's worked his way into being a regular. Now will absolutely be a regular with the injury to Kuhio Aloy.
Slider misses away. 2-2. Lefty's hitting only 190 against that sinker from Ethan Walker. They've jumped on the slider a time or two. Poked through the hole on the left side. 1-run home in Poppy. Souza stops at second. And Carter Rutenbar with an RBI single to add to the Arkansas lead.
You know, and you could see the approach the entire at bat from Rutenbar was focused on taking the ball the other way. If there's a mistake in, you react to it. But with that low slot arm angle and really everything out of way, this was the intent. Try to drive it the other way. If you got something that was elevated enough to go with, that's a really good piece of hitting by the freshman left-hander right there.
So now Reese Robinette with the bases juiced. He's reached base twice already. A walk and a hit by pitch. Went soft on him, and that one launched foul. Well, if there's anybody really dialed into this Reese Robinette at bat against Texas, it's David Nail. That one grounded off of his foot. Nail, the country music star, good friends with Jim Schlossnagle and fellow Kennett, Missouri native.
Look at you. He's probably watching.
Expect the text in 3, 2, probably backstage before he goes out. He's on the road right now. We saw him in Nashville. He was there for the Texas series against Vanderbilt. Also home to Sheryl Crow. Johnny Cash's boyhood home is around the corner in Arkansas. Tina Turner's museum is up in Brownsville, Tennessee. That's a pretty good quadrant. 1-2. Blown away. Souza the runner at third. New is at second after a walk, and Rutenbar with an RBI single. 2-2 to Robinette. Up the middle, sliding stop over to first, got him. Fantastic play, gets a run home, but Adrian Rodriguez showing range.
You see it so often when a shift is on. It was right here. Rodriguez started on the second base side of second. Sometimes you're forced to make some plays that you're just not used to doing, and that was the case right here for Rodriguez. Slides, pops up, but now he's on the shortstop side. You got to deal with the runner who ends up sliding, but still it's in your line of sight. That is a heck of a play by the Texas shortstop.
Jim Schlossnagle out one more time. Hogs on a roll here early, up by a touchdown. Ruiz will be the 7th batter of the inning. We'll tell you about the new Texas reliever in a moment.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Brett Crossan, the new pitcher for Texas, with Arkansas holding on to an 8-1 lead, and the Razorbacks battling for a chance to host. Here's what's happening this week. Kansas is 1-0 in the Big 12 tournament. Oregon is in the Big 10 tournament. Oregon State is idle. And Ole Miss lost to Missouri to start this tournament. So Arkansas with an opportunity to leapfrog the Rebels.
And Arkansas did take 2 out of 3 from Ole Miss this year. It was in Fayetteville in early May. Oregon State idle when everybody else in the country is playing. I don't know that that's a positive or a negative. It'll be interesting to see how the committee looks at that.
Here's Brett Crossan.
Big old freshman that can run it up there. It's mid to upper 90s for Crossan. A different arm angle than you used to seeing too. Primarily fastball cutter. You will see some sliders and some curveballs, but it's generally those first 2.
And Damian Ruiz. Wednesday against Tennessee, didn't get a hit with 2 outs tonight, already 4 for 8. Showed you Oregon in the Big 10 tournament today. Southern Cal blanked Michigan State 7-0. And here shortly Purdue and UCLA will get started, and then later Michigan and Nebraska. 3 games in Omaha in the Big 10 tournament today. 3-0.
This seed is going to be an intriguing 2 seed because it looks like that's what they will be, because they're not going to ship them to UCLA. Now, if Oregon State hosts, they potentially go there. Otherwise, they're heading east somewhere. And it's a pitching staff that is among the best in the country. Mason Edwards leads the country in strikeouts.
3-1 to Ruiz. That'll load him up again, and it'll load it off for the most dangerous hitter in Hoover, Camden Kojal. It's already driven in 5.
It's a busy start to the day. Get it off. Everything started with a 2-run shot in the first. Back it up with a 3-run shot that may cause somebody to go to Best Buy tomorrow and replace a speaker in dead center. So 2 for 2, a driven in 5. And a single in his 3rd at bat.
Speaker City still open, or is that fictitious?
It should be.
First pitch, strike to Kojal.
Looked like it was well run.
Out. He's got 2 grand slams already this season. and is 4 for 9 with the bases loaded, equaling 15 RBI. Crossland fools him, 0-2.
Got a 20-mile-an-hour difference between that slow curveball and a fastball that has already bumped 98 today for Crossland with a directly over the top release point.
Crossland would probably kill at one of those axe throwing places.
Hadn't thought about that. He'd be your first draft pick.
Yeah, you can't throw an axe 3/4.
No.
They'll try to sneak it by him. 0-2. Mm, 97 up top, and Kogel retired with the bases loaded. Crossland hit the bullseye.
Yeah, this is a talented freshman right here and a part of this Texas bullpen that has been so good all year. 97 elevated to strike out Kogel and lead him loaded. But the Hogs add 2 more.
Seven-seed Arkansas, 2-seed Texas meeting for the first time this season. Long storied history between these programs. Texas leads the old-time series 76-42. This is the 119th meeting between the two. They met 20 times in the old Southwest Conference tournament, and Texas won 16 of those matchups. 1-0 from Gabe Gackle to Aiden Robbins, who is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Robbins' dad is a Yankees fan. He took over that fandom as well. When he was at Seton Hall, they would finish up practice and take the train over, make it to the stadium to watch the Yankees. 2-1. His Yankees got Garrett Cole back.
Yankees playing pretty good baseball.
Top of the zone for a strike. 2-2. Wow. It's great directing. We talk Yankees, he shows Red Sox. Robbins dispatched, third strikeout for Gackle, third straight.
And this is what makes Gackle so appealing when you put him out there. If he's finding the zone and can get to 2 strikes and then can rip the slider like he did right there, it's tough to lay off and it's really tough to put in play. Robbins was up in the count 2-1, then swings right through a 2-2 slider.
First pitch strike to Tinney. All right, here's your Red Sox tie-in. Former Vanderbilt outfielder Mike Yastrzemski had a monster game for the Braves last night. 3 for 3 with a homer, double, and a couple of ribbies. Foul territory. Robinette and Helfrich. Robinette and Robinette now takes it. They were on a collision course there for a second before Helfrich put on the brakes.
It'd be a healthy collision.
Not much help from the visiting dugout.
No.
That, you know, that strikes me as something. I'm just thinking out loud here. If you're in the dugout and the opposing team's chasing a foul pop up, I could imagine you throwing some language out there to try to fool them. Me.
It's out, it's out, it's out.
Anthony Pack looks at a knee-high strike from Gackle. Scored a run in the first and a bases loaded walk after he'd reached on a fielder's choice, beating out a would-be double play. To the right side from the grass, Souza. 1-2-3 frame. 5 innings complete. Dylan Valanis is coming out of the Texas bullpen. Their ace will be pitching in relief, a throwback to next season. He'll enter in a 7-run game.
We'll see Dylan Valanis out of the bullpen for the first time. One of the best starters in the SEC this year. Fastball, low 90s, cutter, big time swing and miss curveball. It is an awesome array of 3 that look very similar coming out of his hand and in very different places. But I would think in this case it's similar to what we saw with Harrison. Maybe 30 pitches max for Valanis when they're out there. Just wanted to make sure that he got some work this weekend heading into next weekend.
So there's some people watching right now who are saying, if you're going to throw Dylan Valanis in this game, why not start him? He's been a starter throughout the course of the season, and Jim Schlossnagle talked to us about it, and he answered the question Chris Button earlier twofold. Number one, they wanted to see how Cody Howard would do as a starter, and part of that was going through the routine of starting a game, the warm-up in the bullpen, the stretching before, all of that. And the other side of the coin, Volantis knows how to relieve, but also getting him a rep as a reliever. So you're able to check a couple of boxes in a game that doesn't carry much weight as a data point for Texas's postseason assignment. Is that a fair summation?
Yeah, I think you did all right.
Thank you. 6th in the country in ERA. Through 97 pitches against Missouri last time out, K to 11 against just 1 walk. That was 7 innings of work, only 2 hits allowed.
It feels like it was a 2-horse race for SEC pitcher of the year. It was Volantis and Aiden King.
Borba, that is a fair ball and a bullet across to retire Helfrich. Feels like you can't go wrong in that.
No, it's 1 and 1A.
Nice view from Scott Kennedy's camera.
Borba's got a big time arm too. That got across there in a hurry.
If that was your shirt, as Zach Stewart stands in, coming off of a 2-home run game, but he's got a hat trick going, I dare to ask, but in front of the baseball, what would the word be for you, drink of choice?
Dare to ask.
You're not much of a coffee guy.
Fountain Diet Coke. How about that? Stop at the same place every day on the way to the ballpark here.
They see you coming?
They just bring it out. Now it's great.
They yell Norm when you walk in the door?
And out they come.
All 3 strikeouts swinging for Stewart. Deep into the corner. Pack on the run. It is foul, and Pack comes up just short.
Our car ride today, gentlemen, over to the ballpark, KP and I debated who has the best Fountain Diet Coke. That was our conversation.
Well, we know it's McDonald's, no questions asked.
That's what I said.
That was her argument.
That was my argument.
Stop on the way back. I'm going to prove both of you wrong.
Is that a magic cup or is that just a cup?
No, just a cup. Magic comes later. After dark.
We'll get to after dark because we got a late start today. Still 1 more to go to set up the semifinal for tomorrow. Chris, what can you tell us about Kyle's parking job when you guys arrived in the rainstorm?
Is it still there?
No.
If it hasn't been towed.
Has it been moved by people that were forced to move it?
No, it was under their own volition.
He was being a gentleman. It was raining. I didn't particularly feel like getting wet.
Is that your
I didn't think they
Chevy?
moved it there.
Well, a gentleman, Chris, would have dropped you off and then moved to a legal parking spot. Instead, he just, if I read it right, he just threw it on the sidewalk?
What a sidewalk. It's just under the overhang.
That looks like a Kyle Peterson parking job right there.
It's got to be inventive, that's all. The lines are there. It's merely a suggestion.
You're not the only one in these parking lots. Swing and a miss for Stewart. He is 0 for 4. 4 Ks all swinging.
It's pretty awesome what Volantis has done the last 2 years at Texas. And last year was, kind of a Swiss Army knife out of the bullpen. Ended up in the closer role, but they could bring him into the 5th if they wanted to. And then this year plugged him right into the starter's role. And he wasn't pitching game 1 until about midway through the season, but they flipped that. It's also the depth of this Texas staff that gives Jim Schlossnagle so much flexibility when they go into next weekend, not needing to really being comfortable with any of the 3 if Riojas is healthy.
That's a big question mark around this program right now, and they'd love for him to gain some strength by resting a little bit. Thousand Oaks, California's hometown, out of Westlake High School. He was the National Freshman of the Year last year. First team All-American. Led all freshmen in whip and saves last season. Seems like he pitches with a slow heartbeat.
The times I've talked to him, I think he does everything with a slow heartbeat. It's not just when he's out there. He's got a good pace to his life. Big fountain Diet Coke guy.
Yeah, I've heard. Two and two to Poppy, who's 2 for 3. Swing and a miss. Volantis doing what Volantis does by ERA, the best college baseball has seen over the last 2 seasons. Number 99 getting it done.
Trouble comes but never stays. I believe the best is yet to come. I'm gonna throw my doubt in faith, making room for better days. Yeah, I believe the worst is almost done. I've been so low, I couldn't see.
Did you like the slaps on that video? Oh, hold on. We got beauty queens in the house.
And royalty in the house.
Babes and babes. Here's Temo Becerra. Did I ever tell you about the beauty queen that I interviewed during a minor league game?
No.
It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and they wanted to bring her around as a promotional tour. She was Miss Bikini Wahine.
Okay.
So she was in the booth. She was a student at NC State. She was in the. Oh, we're doing interviews. Okay. She was a literal rocket scientist. And Miss Bikini Wahine. I don't know if that pageant is still around, but
my guess would be no.
Maybe not.
That's the whole story.
Well, we talked jet propulsion. I just thought it was quite the balance to have that title and be a rocket scientist at the same time. Half a dozen home runs for Becerra. He's drawn a walk and reached on an error. 1-2. Season didn't end as the Longhorns wanted last year with so much going for them, and regular season champs in their first year in the Southeastern Conference. What's the key for them surviving their regional this year?
I think they'd be just fine if UTSA doesn't show up again.
Fair.
Because that's who ended up knocking them out and advancing out of that Austin region. I think one of the keys is Ruger Riojas. And the health of Riojas. There's plenty of depth in the pitching staff to get around it, but it's not one that you would prefer to get around. You'd prefer to have him out there.
Casey Borba lines one up the middle. He's hit a couple of rockets today.
there was a period during the season that Casey Borba was struggling pretty decently. Then you look up right now, and his OPS over 1,000. He's got 17 home runs. He's got 2 more hits today. Plays a solid third base, and he's one of the guys that can lengthen this Texas offense, which I think they're going to need if they're going to make a deep run. The 1-2 punch at the top is great, but they're going to need production from others.
Here's Adrian Rodriguez. Yeah, Borba feels like just overall a streaky hitter. We got challenge.
Texas is challenging the call of strike.
What's your guess?
I think it was down.
What's your umpiring background?
Elkhorn Valley Little League. Umpired 7- and 8-year-olds. I was like 12.
Yeah.
Parents had to take me to the umpire coordinator's house and pick up like the pillow,
the chest protector
thing every time we went, because they never trusted any of us to actually take those home. So you had to go knock on his door and he'd go get it out of the garage and throw it at you, and you'll get yelled at by 7-year-olds.
Comebacker to second for 1, little wide, great footwork, and a little late over at first.
Pretty good work by Kozel right there.
I
mean, he can't finish off the double play, but that out of the hand of Gackle looks like this one may be sailing into center field. And we've talked about it plenty. Like Camp Kozel, he didn't play shortstop in college ball until this year. More on the second base side or just hit first. Instead, Dave Van Horn likes just the layout of this team better if Kozel's at shortstop, and he has done a very workman's job out there this year.
Ethan Mendoza at the plate. You know, you're talking about UTSA. There's another team kind of floating under the radar that's going to come in as a 2 seed and may not be limited to the West Coast, and that's UC Santa Barbara, who has Jackson, Florida, is going to be a top 5 pick. He is their ace, and if you got to go head-to-head with Florida, good night. Kozel backhanded.
Ooh, now you got to pick.
Good job by Reese Robinette. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. We've got 6 complete. Cam and Kozel doing it with the bat and the glove.
Smooth to the backhand side. Going to bounce it over there. Make sure Reese Robinette's got a little bit of time to react, and he did.
Back to the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, Alabama. Dylan Valentes coming back in for the top of the 7th, rocking number 99. If you're wondering why he wears it, just thought it was cool. It is not in relation to Ricky Vaughn from Major League. He actually says he's very different from Wild Thing. He's a very cool, calm demeanor, unlike Ricky Vaughn in the movie, boys.
Yeah, he hasn't spent time in the California Penal League.
Stole a car. How'd you get there? Stole a car. Never heard of it. I could go on. I knew every line from that movie.
It's 8-1. Go for it. Remember when we were doing Korean baseball? We interviewed Corbin Burnson.
Yeah.
Do you think his zombie baseball movie ever got made?
No, shockingly, I haven't seen it.
He promised us roles as the announcers. I'm sure he remembers.
I've been waiting by the phone.
Sousa's got a couple of knocks tonight. Arkansas played in 3 in the first and 3 in the second to build a 6-1 lead. Added a couple more in the fifth. Three straight strikeouts for Dylan Volantis.
You just don't see comfortable at bats against him, and you know it's not like he's out there throwing 98, but it moves all over the place. The combination of the three is as comfortable as he can, and there's a little Max Wiener influence here. Inhale, exhale right before you go, and Volantis finishes it off. I just do whatever that guy does.
Second season as the pitching coach. That new age philosophies for Max Wiener. I haven't done a million Texas games this year. I haven't seen many eephus pitches this year. We saw a few last year.
I haven't seen one this year.
Volantis has notched double-digit strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 starts. That's his 4th K in this one, 4 consecutive.
He just went 3 straight cutters against Mike Anu, and you'll see guys swing right over the top of that cutter. 87 miles an hour. It's got enough down to it. It's moving away from the left-handed hitters. 4 straight strikeouts, all swinging for Volantis. Now it's Carson Tinney's good at catching the low strike. But I'm going to show you something after this. But you're not gonna steal this pitch. Frame it up. Short hopped and brought it all the way up and in. The last one, he's like, "I didn't work the first time. I'll get rid of it." Don't know if you don't try.
He does have quick hands. He talked in the offseason about the ability to frame and learning how to use those soft hands as a good receiver. He said, I try to move the pitch to the zone. He thinks of it like a train station. It's on the same route, just different stops along the way. That stopped when it hit Rutenbar's back. First base runner allowed by Volantis. They'll bring Reese Robinette to the plate.
We showed all the cool, calm, collective breathing technique that Max Wiener teaches them, but this is what it's like pregame. Okay, we got footballs, we got blaring music, and just that's how we're entering. Right before start.
They're rocking down to Electric Avenue.
Did you guys do the motorbike revving when you were playing?
No, if we did the motorbike revving, we would have been escorted out of the stadium by our head coach. I'm all for it. I mean, the stuff that Max does is cool, and obviously these kids have a blast with it. Yeah, we wouldn't have had 3 speakers in the bullpen when we were warming up either.
No. 0-2 to Robinette. Shuffle to second. Go the easy way to close the 7th. Time to stretch. It'll be a late night in Hoover. Arkansas leads 8-1.
The beast with the power, like lightning run through my head. I got the need to devour. I am the machine. I must
Let's simplify. 6-seed Auburn, 3-seed A&M. Michael Early's team will bring the bats. Auburn has one of the best pitching staffs in the country. Pitching versus hitting. You think he's listening to Taylor Swift?
I don't.
Big swing and a miss for Ashton Larson to start the 7th. At-bats will travel. A&M fighting for a top 8 national seed. They got Florida on their heels. Larson 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. What a scene at Bluebell when we were there for the Texas series.
That was fun. Not really fun for the Horns those days, but felt like a college football game.
I thought the 12th man was going to run out of bubble juice that weekend. Gackel entered in the 4th. He's only allowed a couple of base runners, a walk and a single. Hunter Dietz started, lasted 21 pitches, then Steele Eves, and now Gackel. Larson battled injuries for LSU last year. Came over to Texas in the offseason. Nolan Cain, the third base coach, had recruited him to LSU a few years ago. Fought off to left field, diving attempt, blocked by Ruiz. He keeps it in front of him. Larson will break for second. Strong throw from Ruiz.
He's really good at bat. He fouled off a couple tough sliders and he took a few that were swingable pitches. That one he can handle right there. Waits on it, drives it the opposite way. Shift onto the infield, and a pretty good break out left, too. Just a little bit late on the dive by Ruiz. Caught enough of the glove to not get by him, or Larson would have gone a lot further than that.
Kept it in front. Here's Pendergrass. 3 starts for Pendergrass against Missouri. Had a couple of hits. Mentioned the back injury that he had early in the season that tweaked his hammy on a ground ball to shortstop against Alabama. He led the state of South Carolina in stolen bases his senior year at Hartsville High School. Great name. And last year, 59 starts for the College of Charleston, was 8th in the country in swipes. Second best season on the base paths in school history. Originally coming out of high school, he was committed to South Carolina. Jim Schlossnagle and company lost a couple of outfielders that they had coming their way in the portal to the draft. And so they had room to add Pendergrass, and he goes down swinging. It's a 5th K for Gackel already.
Yeah, there's a lot of left-handers that look like this when Gackel puts that slider where it is. I mean, you could dial up from mid-90s, and this thing is just angry when it gets to home plate. 89 miles an hour. Just about hit his back foot. He swung right over the top.
Same to Aiden Robbins, 0-1.
I think we have seen the importance of this game to Arkansas based on when they brought Gackel in and how long he's been out. Because Dave Van Horn even said it when he was talking to Chris earlier. People thought he was potentially going to start tomorrow, but got him in there early. He's now gone 3 1/3, and that pitch count isn't bad at all.
He's thrown as many as 99 pitches in an outing. They came in a non-conference start against Stetson back in March and went 84 in his start at Kentucky. Swing and a miss on the slider. Back-to-back Ks. He's struck out 6 now.
And he's got Robbins on that same pitch twice. It's the 2-strike slider that he just couldn't hold up on. So elevated fastball for the first strikeout. Then you can see a whole lot of those. Slider down and away. Slider down and in. And another one to Robbins to finish him off. So the 6 strikeouts, 5 have been on that pitch right there. And I don't think any of them would have been called strikes. Just got to a 2-strike count, and then that pitch is so good, guys can't hold off.
95 over the black, 0-1 to Tinney.
Good day for that dude.
Three pitches to dispatch Tinney. We'll see Kogel due up second in the 8th. 8-1 Arkansas. I want to see DeLucci on the zip line. 2026 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC. Top of the order due up. There's one way to use the glove.
Oh.
Michael Winter enters out of the Texas bullpen. Dylan Volantis gave him 2 scoreless.
Cam Kozel's probably okay with a pitching change right now. Michael Winter, the freshman, in a role that's been his primary role this year. He has made 2 starts, but for the 11th time, the vast majority have come out of the bullpen. It's a fastball in the mid-90s. I mean, from a velocity standpoint, he runs it up there. It's just got knocked around a little bit this year.
First offering low to Ruiz. Four strikeouts over 2 for Volantis. And the only mistake, a hit batter for the Texas ace pitching out of the bullpen. There's that man. Ruiz sends it to right. Robbins settles underneath. Camden Kojal wasted no time. 391 feet his first time up.
Hang in there on a slider too. That's not just trying to shoot it the other way over the shortstop's head. He knew he had enough of it too. Home runs number 19 and 20 today for Kojal.
Four for 7. Two-time Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. Also played all over the football field. Two and 0. Banged him off the speakers first time up. And a steady diet of off-speed stuff since that second home run.
Got it again. 2-0 slider, 2-1 slider.
Where do you go here?
After those last two, I think you go right back to it. We'll see if Max Wiener wants to do that here, or he come back, elevate a fastball, see if he can get chase, or just stay with the same one. Sidearm change up there.
Pendergrass playing deep in center. That one ripped foul.
Should be a fun one tonight. Texas A&M offense that is as offensive as about any in the entire country against an Auburn team that is playing really good baseball in the second half of the SEC season.
I'm not sure if there's anything left there, bud. Yeah, there is. Here's Ryder Helfrich.
Helfrich wanted that one. That reaction after it came in.
Talked about it being the year of the catcher in college baseball. We're going to see these dudes in the big leagues real soon. Von Lackey at Georgia Tech. Ryder Helfrich.
Of course, Tinney.
Runner goes. So there's value in the big leagues for catchers. There was with pitch framing coming in the forefront last handful of years or so. Are we going to see added value for guys who know the ABS?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, Daniel Jackson won the Triple Crown, is currently ahead in all Triple Crown categories in the SEC. We just talked Von Lackey. I mean, all of these guys, four on the right, are all draft eligible. Yeah, I think there's value to that. I mean, there's now more value in the guys that can throw. You know, there was a period of time in the big leagues where it felt like nobody ran, and that has definitely changed.
Number 6 overall prospect in the draft and best in the SEC. When he drives it high to left field, Pack going to set up Camp, reaching for the wall, makes a catch. Tagging from second is Kojal. Two down.
He did not miss this by much. 103 off the bat. Go back to Major League. Too high. It's a little too high right there. Enough time for Pack to run under it. Long second out.
Zach Stewart had a great game against Tennessee, 2 for 4, a couple of home runs.
Texas is challenging the call of ball.
Down to their last ABS challenge. Got a win to keep it. Texas would only pick up another challenge availability if this one goes extras. Here's the 1-0. Well, Stewart's from Lebanon, Missouri. He started his college career at Missouri State. Was the MVC scholar athlete. And he had a huge jump after a slow start to the season with the Bears. And trying to get right, he went through 3 different walk-up songs to try and find his rhythm. He did. What would your walk-up song have been?
I don't know. I've been asked this question too. I don't know.
Well, Dave Van Horn had a great line. He's told this story a bunch. He said they had a coaches meeting on a Monday morning. Zach was in a slump, and Van Horn turned to Nate Thompson and said, let's change his luck. Tell him to cut his hair. That day, Zach called him and he said, Coach Thompson said I should cut my hair.
Serious, Clark?
How short do you want it? Van Horn goes, Zach, I don't really care about your hair. I could care less. I just want you to start doing what I know you can do. Change your luck. Do something. That guy's coachable.
Yeah, he did the right something yesterday. 2 home runs yesterday, part of a 4 home run day for Arkansas.
Got caught looking. 0 for 5 Ks for Stewart. He's going to ask somebody to break out the Flowbee after tonight.
getting set with us. We'll get you ready for Auburn and A&M as well. Right now over here in FanFest, DeLucci trying to get Jared Mitchell out. Oh, he went yard. That's fair. Home run.
And we'll hear from Jake Marciano and Gavin Graholvac. We'll give them field access. That'll be fun. It's inside the Finley Center over there. Chance to stay dry earlier today.
What if those guys hit any here? I haven't asked them. In the SEC tournament?
If they did what?
If they hit any home runs here. Between Luch, Walker, Jared.
Well, they wouldn't. Jared would have played here. The other two would not have. I don't think, right? They've
20 years,
divisions.
Right. Yeah.
And they used to rotate this thing around. And for a while, they just played an East Division tournament and a West Division tournament.
We're getting old.
Yeah. Here's Anthony Pack Jr. He is 0 for 3.
He's heating up at the right time. The most interesting thing to me will be how they use him. Because his bullpen numbers this year we showed earlier in the game.
Ruiz gets there.
Have been lights out. And he has been lights out again today.
Let's see, this is the 29th SEC tournament held in Hoover. Who's younger between Walker and DeLucci? DeLucci, right?
They're about the same.
You think Todd travels with a slew of his baseball cards? That would help us out.
He's got enough room.
Well, he does. Becerra swings at the first. Souza. 2 down. Well, Arkansas got good pitching in its win against Tennessee. Tate McGuire, Parker Coyle, James Kramer, and Cole Gibler in an 8-4 win, and now Gackle is in position to be able to finish this thing out. Here's Casey Borba. Georgia has a spot reserved in the semis. 23 regular season champions have won this tournament title, including 5 of the last 8. One of those exceptions was Texas last year. But Vanderbilt in 17 and 19, Arkansas in 21, and Tennessee twice in 22 and 24. In fact, the #1 seed has won 4 of the last 6.
Just think about this today. You think these are 2 of the best or the 2 best coaches that have not won a national championship? Whoa. Good time to ask a question. Yeah. 2 outs, 2 strikes. You knew it this.
Give it time to marinate. 8-1, Arkansas with the lead.
catcher Daniel Jackson. Now in his second season in Athens, Jackson is Georgia's reliable backstop and the backbone of the Bulldogs offense. He is strong, he is fast, he's built like a tank, and that is why they call him the Rhino.
Yeah, he watches those National Geographic videos with rhinos doing real damage, and he's done that. Leader in all the Triple Crown categories. #1 seed Georgia and Florida. Start things tomorrow 1 Eastern, noon local, and later tonight A&M and Auburn.
Only catcher in the history of this league to go 25-25.
So I was thinking about your question. I would say overall, Mike Martin would be the best coach in history not have won a national championship.
Agreed.
But among active coaches, given the teams that they've had and opportunities they've had, yeah, these guys would be 1, 2 in either order.
I would think so. I mean, Dave's been there, what, 9 times, I believe?
Yeah, 2 with Nebraska, 7 with Arkansas.
And they've each played in the College World Series finals in the last 5 years. I mean, they're 2 of the best. This isn't a disparaging remark. 2 of the best college coaches in the country. They're both going to be in the Hall of Fame. And both have come so close to winning the whole thing.
Cal Higgins enters the game and gets a strikeout. Presley Corville, his new catcher.
Kearney. Former Kearney Bearcat right here. Cal Higgins, a left-hander.
Can I add 2 West Coast guys to your list?
Sure.
What about David Esker and John Savage?
Well, John Savage has.
Oh, has.
John Savage has.
Is that 16? 13.
Yes. Yeah, I love Esky, but I don't. You look at total number of wins, and Esky's been to Omaha 4 times. Once with Cal, 3 with Stanford.
TCU, A&M, and Texas. Nebraska and Arkansas.
I mean, it really is 2 guys, and not at their current places, but it's 2 guys that totally turned programs that were not national powerhouses into national powerhouses. Dave did it in Nebraska. Schloss did it at TCU. I mean, think about that. There's guys that do this 20, 30 years that never get there once. Combined, they've been there 17 times. I think there's only one coach who's taken 3 different teams there. Schloss has got a chance to do that. Souza walks. There's Micah New. A couple of strikeouts, a single, and a walk.
Big cut, nothing in 1.
Be interesting to see who Arkansas they hold on right here. Arkansas goes with tomorrow. Could be Colin Fisher, who's pushed more to a bullpen role lately.
Pulled down the left field line. It is fair and into the corner. New with extra bases. His second hit of the game.
Pretty good job of keeping this ball fair, too. That was in on Micah New's hands and ripped down that left field line. 102 off the bat. A couple of hits today from Micah New. Well, the Hogs with a chance to add. Guys on second and third, just one out.
11th double of the season for New. And Carter Rutenbar will get a shot. Rutenbar is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a peek at the A&M lineup for the nightcap. They've had to shuffle some guys around, but Boston Kellner's still playing short. What a story that's been.
Yeah, it's good to see him back out there. Ben Royo jumped in, played some when he was out. About that turnaround story, man. Preseason #1, don't make the postseason last year for A&M. Now you come back and it's a potential top 8 national seed.
0-2 to Rutenbar is fought off into the seats. It's one way to try it.
That's against the rules. They gave it back to him.
It'll cost you 2 bases using your equipment. Got him chasing. Watch the beer mug hat.
Here it comes. Here it comes. I mean, look at this. We got. Where we got it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right there. I'll take the effort. I'm impressed they gave it back to him.
Yeah, that'll usually cost you. Robinetto for 2. Muscles this one, won't leave the infield, and that will do it for Arkansas. 8-1. Last chance for the Horns. Bottom of the order due up. How about the view from the men in blue? Hat cam in full force. But what are we hiding from? What are we hiding from? RoboCop Scott Kennedy.
Appreciate it, gents.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some cool looks.
Gabe Gackel mowing him down. He's only allowed a couple of hits and a walk since he entered. Can we get Jason Bradley a steady cam? Or was that Kennedy?
No, I think it was Jason Bradley.
I'm thinking 2 to Adrian Rodriguez. Scott Kennedy is looking at the sunset.
And remember, that hand injury has been an issue for Rodriguez this year, and it's generally on swings like that. Those that aren't put in play. So either a foul ball that went straight back or a swing and a miss. He's dealt with it essentially the whole season.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to last season. He was hit by a pitch in the Missouri series. They ended up putting a staple in the fall when he had surgery. And then they found out that the material that the staple was made out of, he was allergic to. Finally took the staple out, had to spend some time to recover from the stitches that came with removing the staples. Now it sounds like something he's going to have to deal with for the remainder of this season. And he slices this one into left field. Ruiz. One down. Well, absent a massive comeback here in the 9th inning, it'll be one and done once again for Texas here in Hoover for the 2nd consecutive season. What impact, if any, will this game result have on Texas?
I mean, I think they're a top 8 for sure. You know, is it bumping down a notch? I don't know. Maybe Auburn could jump them. Auburn, I think, has the number 3 RPI in the country. Strength of schedule's all the way up there. But that would be it for me. I don't think there's any way they push out of the top 8.
Mendoza yanks it foul. Junior from Bedford, Texas, out of South Lake Carroll. And he sends this one over the head of Souza and into center field.
2 pretty good moves that right there by Mendoza. Hooked one foul. He was just a little bit early on, and then makes the adjustment. Rockets it out to right center field. It was 96 coming in and 109 going out.
They have a pinch hitter, Josh Livingston, to the plate. And they'll put a pinch runner aboard as well. Callum Early is running. Well, this game started with Hunter Dietz on the mound for Arkansas. He lasted 5 batters, got knocked out on a line drive off of his foot after 21 pitches. Dave Van Horn said x-rays were negative. That's good news.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas really wanted to win this ball game. I think the best news they got the whole day is that the x-ray was negative.
Then Gackel entered in the 4th, and it has been his show since. What's your theory as to why Gabe Gackel's so much more effective out of the bullpen?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's if he knows he's going to be used ahead of time, if it's thinking too much. I don't know, but it's incredibly consistent, and it's something that I'll be interested to see what Dave Van Horn says about it either tonight, and he probably won't cover a lot of it tonight, but when they head into regionals next week, is how they end up using him and when they use him.
Jaden Duplantier entered last half inning defensively. Senior from Humble, Texas. A 2 for 3 in the Missouri series. A couple of games there. Walked twice. One and 2 to Duplantier. Gackel trying to finish this one off. He's thrown 75 pitches in relief. Ground ball to the left side. Kojal backhand off balance. Got him! The Cam Kojal show will roll into the weekend. Arkansas chasing its second SEC championship. Now their 7th semi since 2013.
Two pretty workmanlike games for Arkansas, and the power has shown up. They've hit 6 home runs in those 2 games, really pitched it today, which would be the best sign of the day on the mound was how good Gackel was. Goes 6 complete at the back end of the game to finish it off, and the Hogs move on. They will play in the semis and make the argument about the 15-16 national seed. A little bit tougher for that selection committee right now.
As we got still to come tonight, Texas A&M and Auburn. Winner gets Arkansas in the second game tomorrow. We'll have a late night here, 9:25 Eastern, 8:25 Central for first pitch of our second game of the night. Texas will head back to Austin, get ready for the postseason despite the efforts of Dylan Volantis. And for the Longhorns, it's time to reset just as they had to last year. Arkansas will play on, thanks in large part to Camden Kojal, who got Arkansas off to a quick start in this one. He's hit 3 home runs in 2 games here in Hoover. This was against Tennessee off of the scoreboard. Then an opposite field shot nearly into the bullpen, and finally head to Best Buy. We need new speakers. He's with Chris Budden.
Cam, a heck of a performance tonight. Your previous games, what's been the breakfast for you the last couple days here in Hoover?
Oh, just some eggs, bacon, sausage, some yogurt with some strawberries.
That second home run today, when it leaves the bat and you watch it, what did you first think when it came off the bat?
I felt like I hit a laser. I mean, I played it here freshman year, and Christian Moore hit one against us that year, and it went over that boom box out in center field. So that one felt good.
They've been playing baseball for a long time in this park, and we did some research. There's only 2 that people can remember that might have broken the speakers. When you look at this team as a whole and what it can do in terms of the path to the postseason, what is your confidence in where this team can be when you're hitting the way that you are and when pitching is good?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. I mean, this team can do whatever it wants to do. We can go as far as we want to go. It's just, do we want to keep playing together? And we do.
Congrats on the engagement as well.
Thank you. I know. I'm so excited. Let's go.
Cam Kojal, appreciate the time. Let's send it out to Peter Byrne and the boys. You guys take it away.